Hey, Hanako. I had a feeling I'd find you here. The head jumps a little in shock before slowly peeping over the partition. Hisao? Hey, Lily's pretty busy, so she sent me to find you. Oh, do you want to sit down? Oh, you're inviting me to sit down. That's so cute. Is that weird? Do I find small things cute? Actually, I'm feeling a little hungry. You just ate twice in the last 5 minutes. Would you like to get something to eat from one of the stands? I brought food, so I shouldn't be surprised, but it was worth a try. Expecting her to go outside today was a long shot. How about we eat in the tea room? I passed on the way here and no one was around. We can make some food there, and it'll be more comfortable. What do you say? Sure, let's go. Hanako closes her book and puts it away with deliberate, practiced movements. Good to go? Yeah. We walk side by side from the library to the tea room. This is weird. I'm in a weird position. I always think it's cool to like lay down because I do that during other games, but I don't know. I'm on camera, so I feel a little more self-conscious about laying down. Because normally, okay, when I lay down, I like slowly slump more and more until it's literally just my neck on the chair, and then like my legs just like like all the way up into the on my bed. As expected, there is barely a soul around. If it weren't for the murmurs through the walls, you wouldn't think that there was a huge festival going on outside. Hanako carries her bag in both hands and focuses just on the door ahead of her, on the floor. Every now and again, she seems to break pace a little and steps slightly shorter in paces. The first time it happened, I gave it no mind, but as soon as I noticed she does it on a regular basis. You alright? She stops dead in her tracks. What? I don't know, it looked like you were tripping or something. What if, like, her legs are burnt, bro? Pink blush rises to her cheeks. She gazes, returns to the floor. It's nothing. You know, when you say nothing like that, people are inspired to ask further questions. For a second, I don't think she's going to answer. Prepared to leave it be, I almost set off walking again when it's a game. Aww. Game? Do you see the floor here? She's playing like floor is lava. What a bizarre question. The floor is just like any other floor, covered in those tiles made up from squares of linoleum. Nothing noteworthy. Squares is how. Squares. Well, yes. What about it? Sometimes, when there's no one around, I only step in the darker ones. Hanako's voice trails off as her explanation continues, until I can barely hear her voice over the roaring silence of the empty hall. Darker ones. Shuffling her feet, Hanako points her toe at the shoe at a tile that is barely a shade darker than the others. Like these ones. Oh, right. So these ones are no good? Point at a nearby tile. Yeah, something like that. Oh, I see. Do you play this game a lot? Hanako shakes her head. Just when the halls are empty? She nods. Well, there's no point in stopping. I'm beginning to get really hungry. She nods again, this time with a little more enthusiasm. Play the game with her, Hisao. Well then, let's go. We set off down the hall, and this time I notice Hanako is paying a little less attention to the floor. Bro, you killed it. Play with her. Just how lonely does someone have to be to come up with a game like that? Don't make her sound desperate, bro. She's got like a childlike wonder. You just gotta play it with her. But before I realize what I'm doing, I find myself trying to aim each step so it lands on the correct tiles. That's right, Hisao. The nose of the festival is slightly louder inside the tea room, but the breeze coming through the open window makes it so worth it. Without thinking, I walk to the windowsill and inhale deeply. I was about to say... Never mind. I sometimes forget how clean the air is up here compared to back home. Would you like some tea? That would be great, thanks. It occurs to me that this is the first time I've been alone with Hanako without her trying to be somewhere else. What do you mean? Literally last time we were in the library, she wasn't trying to leave. Literally yesterday in the library, she wasn't trying to leave. What? Isn't there another time? Alright, maybe that was the only time. Whatever. I guess... oh, yeah. Okay. Turning from the window, I watch as she makes a simple pot of tea and arranges some sandwiches onto a plate. I've seen her do this before, a number of times, but this time she seems slightly different. It's like she's calm. Eventually, she places the small tray on the table and pours 2 cups of tea. The fresh scent of brewed tea mingles with the breeze, and for a second I feel like I'm the only one in the world. I think I know why you like this room now. I don't know what you mean. Well, there are quite a few people out there, but in here it's like it's another world. You can pretend that there's like no one around for miles. I don't know, I said like. That was just my accent coming in. You're right. It's like the world has forgotten this room. And because of that, you can forget about the outside. That would be appealing in some cases. As far as I can tell, conventional bullying doesn't even exist in this school, which is crazy because of how easy it is. But then again, I haven't seen a single person talk to Hanako besides Lily. If you're ignored by the world, a place where you can forget its existence would hold a special appeal. That's a good point. It's like this room gives you some kind of complete freedom. Yeah. Say, do you play chess? Chess? I've played it a bit, I guess. I take it you've played before? A little. Without saying anything more, Hanako moves to one of the cupboards and digs out a small chess set. Do you want? Sure, why not? I cut her off, but she doesn't seem to mind it. Oh, she's so close. We arrange the pieces, and before long, sending pawns charging to their inevitable fates. I take my time and intently examine each move and its consequences. Nostalgia for taking second place to the matters at hand. I'm sorry, did I say that wrong? The game taking second place to the matters at hand? Nostalgia for the game. Okay. For a time, the game is lengthy battle of attrition, but I spot an opening and tear a line in her defense. A few moves later, her king is cornered by several of my pieces. Checkmate. You're not bad at this, are you? That's such a fucked up thing to say after you completely destroyed her. You're like, you're not bad at this, are you? An honest appraisal. Her technique is pretty good, but several times I was able to exploit her lack of prediction. Pick up a piece and examine it. It looks relatively new, yet worn for its age. I guess not. Does Lily play? I don't think she can. I mean, maybe if you do like the same chess where you're like, oh, pawn to e2 or whatever, and it's like she has to memorize like the board though. Sorry, I'm dizzy. I don't know what's up. The absence of Hanako's answer causes me to think about my question. She's staring up. It's not even like the upset, she's just staring. A bit. This is the first time I've played against someone other than her, or... She cuts herself off abruptly, leaving the answer hanging in the air. Someone she knew before coming to Yamaku, maybe. Well then, I'm honored to have played against you. Can we play again? She asks as if she were asking me to cut off my own hands. Spirit's competition gotten into her? What? Sure, though don't expect me to go easy on you this time. Not that I was before, mind, but she seems to appreciate the competitive tone. Same here. As we were setting up the pieces, there's a noise at the door. Good afternoon. Lily. Oh, hey there, Lily. Are you finished? You both are here? Wonderful. At this rate, our teacher managed to round up some extra help, so I was able to leave. Have you been here since you left? Pretty much. We've been playing a bit of chess. Would you like a cup of tea? Actually, I think it would be a good idea to go outside for a little while. You've been outside, bitch. Sit down. The instant drop in Hanako's face shows her objection to this plan, even though she says nothing. I feel strangely compelled to voice what is plainly in view of her face, but Lily can't see. I kind of think we should just stay here. Really? It's so crowded here. I was thinking that we should leave the school and head for a local tea house. You mean Shanghai? Of course. With everyone at the festival, it should be practically empty. Tea house? Oh, that's right. You probably don't know of it. There's a tea house not far from here, which we go to every so often. Sounds like a plan, Hanako. What do you think? Hanako jumps at being forced into the conversation, but at least she seems a little less distraught than before. If it's the Shanghai, it'll be nice. Well then, it's settled. Let's be on our way. Hanako and I rise. God, I forgot how tall Lily is. Hanako and I rise from our preempted chess game. Before I can do anything, Hanako has poured the pieces into a small container and placed the board away. Looks like we're ready now. Please lead on. Hanako moves to Lily's side as we venture into the school's corridors. The pair leads me through a series of unfamiliar doors, and we emerge on the side of the building opposite of the festival grounds. Insulated by heavy stone of the building, the noise from the crowd has faded into a murmur. Strange. I thought that most people would be beginning to leave by now. This is... At some point, I think I might just have to, like... Because I know these episodes are going to get really long. I might just have to, like, make the camera wider and just pray that I'm always in frame while I'm laying down. Because this is going to get, like, super long. Because we still have to go to the tea house. I mean, I doubt we're going to see nighttime within our normal time constraint. Because it's already almost an hour. We'll see, but I'm just saying. They're probably here to view the fireworks. Fireworks? Yes, apparently the school puts on quite a show. A lot of people come from town just to watch them. Lily's decision to leave the school grounds seems to make sense now. Or Hanako probably would have had a hard time in town. The whole town descending onto the school. Or ascending, as the case may be. For the second time since arriving in Yamaku, I find myself walking down this road with Lily. Only now that I can barely hear the incessant noise of the festival do I realize how loud it was. I can hear my ears ringing slightly in the still evening air as they recover from today's assault on them. Hanako clings to Lily, but still manages to guide her along the road. That, and avoiding the occasional gaze from curious pedestrians, appears to completely sap her constitution. She raises her focus from the ground in front of her. She rarely raises her focus from the ground in front of her, nor does she utter a word. Is this weird? I feel weird. Camera's over here. Lily, on the other hand, maintains her prim and proper persona, just as she does at school. It's obvious she purposely puts effort in her appearance rather than hiding it as Hanako does. It's striking how different they are in a way of holding themselves outside of Yamaku grounds. That said, it's obvious in both their cases that they do physically change. Inside Yamaku, everyone is special, which negates the specialness of it. Sorry, this is like the really like... But once we venture outside the school gates, we return to the status of an outsider. Generic labels. Especially when we're in school uniform, it's like hanging a sign around your neck, challenging people to figure out what's wrong with you. I'm surprised that so many of the students keep it on. Then again, with canes and wheelchairs among the students, I guess it's not really that much of a giveaway. Or maybe I'm the only one who sees this as a stigma. Maybe you get used to it after a time, like any other school uniform. The tea house seems fairly standard from the outside, just an ordinary building with typical signs decorating the entrance. It looks as the type of place you'd walk by without a thought. Just another generic cafe in the sea of thousands. If Hanako hadn't steered Lily in the entrance, I would have continued down the road without ever even knowing it existed. Inside the tea house, it takes on more of a traditional feel. Everything seems to have been made from the same lump of timber, from the counter and benches to the high-backed booths around the walls. But the most striking feature of the room is the lack of life. I think I can faintly hear something bubbling away in the background, but otherwise the room is silent. Without any direction, we simply wait near the entrance, politely obeying the "Please wait to be seated" sign. Is this place closed or something? Oh, she's so cute in that outfit. The sound of a chair falling in the echoes throughout the empty room. And a head shoots up from inside the booth. Alright, we're gonna end it here. I don't know when the next day is gonna be, but I have to leave right now, so thanks for watching, and next time we'll hear cute Yuko.